But believe me, I just want to assure you that it's only the questions which are different, answers are always similar. So actually you have studied that what is there in the philosophy, it's only the application part you are missing. One of the high potential area, it is architecture and sculpture, and a good number of the questions have been asked from architecture and sculpture.
Hello dear aspirants, I am Vishal Salsekar and I welcome you all for this special conversation video regarding the strategy for last 60 days of the examination. As you know that roughly 60 days are remaining for the UPSC Mains examination, and I am very sure that you must be getting a lot of doubt and anxiety regarding how to prepare, what to cover, what not to cover. So to decode all these things and to discuss about these kind of aspects, I am joined by Neeraj Rao sir, who is the faculty of Vision IAS. Welcome sir.
Thank you, Vishal, for this welcome.
So sir, as you are going to take the art and culture and ancient medieval related aspects, but before moving to the subject specific aspect, can you briefly tell about like what should be the students' approach for the last 60 days?
Definitely. For these last 60 days, I hope that you all are knee deep in your preparation and it's high time. So obviously you are doing what is required to be done at this point of time. But actually I'm not here to tell you that what you must be doing in last 60 days. I'm here to ask you and to remind you that what you must not be doing in last 60 days. So let's get to the points that what you must not be doing in this last 60 days. First of all, excessive importance to one portion and neglecting the others. Not balancing your optional with your GS. Third, not writing answers as if that if you are believing that you will only write in the examination hall, that's not right. So you must be writing answers. Then moreover, stuffing up with so many emotions, range of emotions that ho jayega, mujhse nahi hoga. Then these range of emotion needs to be controlled. You must not be falling in this. It's the part and parcel of the process that there would be range of emotion. Sometimes you feel like giving up. Sometimes you feel like so much of excitement is there. So hold on. These last 60 days, only last 60 days are remaining, and give what you can give. Prepare as if that you are not in conversation with anybody and save your time. Don't waste it. So there are many other things, but I hope you know about it. So don't do those things which are not going to benefit you in this particular exam.
So sir, that's very insightful for the students. So sir, now coming to the subject specific aspect, which is the Indian architecture and art related aspects. So sir, basically we have seen a lot of changes as far as the UPSC examination question asking pattern is concerned in the recent years. So sir, can you highlight what should be the student approach when it comes to the specifically this particular subject?
So I would say that art and culture has been a tricky section in the examination. And the question which has been asked, it has been very perplexing for some of the students. But believe me, I just want to assure you that it's only the questions which are different, answers are always similar. I can give you n number of the instances where it has been there in the paper. So for example, Gandhar sculpture question has been asked many a times. And then only the question format is different, but at the end of the day, answers are similar. Sometimes they are asking the Indo-Greek features, sometimes they are asking the Bactrian features and the Central Asian features. So basically you needed to balance what you have studied and then you just write the answers that you know. Just don't overthink about the question that what has been asked. So this is one part, but other thing that in recent past, UPSC has started asking the question on analytical nature. Some of them are factual, but some of them are highly analytical. So for example, temple architecture and the philosophy behind the temple architecture. So many times what happens that students have gone with the rote memorization of the facts related to the temple architecture, and that rote memorization is like that ki there is a sekhar, there is a kalash, there is this thing, there is that thing. Actually think about it. Be analytical that why these things are there. So for example, there is a philosophy behind everything, that Sikhar is representation of the Kailas mountain, Meru Parvat. Then similarly, that it is laid according to the Vastu principles. And what is Vastu principle? So actually you have studied that what is there in the philosophy. It's only the application part you are missing. So that you can do with regularly writing answers and analyzing the past year paper. So it is very important to analyze the past 10-year paper.
So now, sir, analyzing past 10-year papers give us also some insights about the high potential area.
Yes.
So, sir, if I may ask you that, are there some kind of like high potential area that we have identified and that can be shared with the students that might be benefiting the students for this particular?
Definitely, definitely. So one of the high potential area, it is architecture and sculpture, and a good number of the questions have been asked from architecture and sculpture. That is one high potential area. But then in ancient and medieval also. So for example, that they do ask question from the Vijayanagara kingdom, and then also sometimes the literary aspect of the medieval ages. And apart from it, Gupta period is also favorite. Foreign travelers are favorite. And apart from it, that Mughal period also, particularly the phase of the Akbar is important, and his administration system, that is Mansabdari. So one can look at it. Coming back to art and culture, one more very high potential area in the art and culture is language and literature part. So if I have to choose two important parts from the art and culture, I would choose architecture and language and literature. And rest of the art forms, they can give one glance or just before the exam. Obviously they need to read it, but then just before the exam, you can give one glance to all the important topics like classical forms and so as the paintings. But then these two areas must be highly emphasized.
Right. So thank you for highlighting the important areas for the aspirants. So, sir, now coming to the another more important area, which is the current affairs, because for other subjects which are directly related to the current affairs, there is no that much confusion with the students that how to integrate current affairs. But when it comes to the static subjects like the history or art and culture, it is a bit difficult for the student to get an idea that what specifically aspects that may be asked from the current affairs perspective in this particular examination. So, sir, is there any kind of linkage with current affairs?
Yes, definitely there is a linkage. And in the past, there has been questions which are, though the static in nature, but then linked to the current affair, or basically if the places are in the news. So for example, in 2014, the question was asked about the Nalanda University. That was the time when Amartya Sen was appointed as the Chancellor of the university, though the inauguration, once again, it has happened in this year. So Nalanda University related question was asked in that year. And moreover, almost all the newspapers and magazines, they covered at that point of time. So if such a big institution is formed, so you are already aware about it, do a little bit of study with the help of the current affair material, which we also provide like Mains 365. So you can get some insight from there. And moreover, once you're reading the current affairs, so actually what you are doing, that you are reading the static part of it and some of the historical aspect of it, that what happened in the Nalanda, then what kind of teaching was there. So for example, the question was based on the modern university. So you just need to think about the modern university. That was the keyword. Even if you have not studied well, so you can write some points about the modern university on this line. So this way you will have to maneuver that your answer, and it will always not be spoon-fed. But then this thinking process comes when you are writing good chunk of answers.
So, sir, as you have highlighted in your remark that a good chunk of answer need to be written, but now the students are confused that they, on the one hand, there is a revision that is needed for the examination perspective. On the other hand, they also need to practice a lot. So how they can balance between the revision as well as practice, and what is the like role of answer writing in this last 60 days for the examination?
See, I would say that there is definitely the role of balancing between all these stuff. This is challenging, but handling this challenge what makes you a topper. And so if you have a plan when you will be revising and what sections you will be doing and where you are not wasting your time, and then if not many answers, if you're writing regularly 2 answers, so then that's enough even for one particular topic or like culture. So even if you're writing just one question, suppose in a 2 days, so in 30 days you'll be able to write 15 answers. That is also okay. That is also fine. And moreover, when you're writing these answers, so better write the past year paper. and answers of the past year paper that will give you better insight. In fact, I can tell you that the questions are repeated. As I told you that it is not the answer which is different, it is always the question which is different. And in other words, they have asked, but then answers you know. So when you are practicing past year paper, then only you get to know कि अरे इसका तो answer similar होना चाहिए.
Exactly. So, sir, again, another important issue that the student right now are facing, that how they can manage the stress, because a lot of stress is getting piled up in the last 60 days for the examination. And I think we have already discussed before also that a lot of stress that is keeping on accumulating at the student's end. So what things student can do right now in managing the stress in the last 60 days?
Actually, it is one very intrinsic part of this preparation that there is a stress buildup, or in fact I would say that in any profession there is buildup of the stress at one moment or the other moment. But then I would say one thing to you all guys, if there is a little bit of stress, I think this is a positive thing because it lets you focused towards your preparation. But if you're not stressed at all, it means that you are in overconfidence, you're not preparing at all. So that's a different situation. But excess of anything is bad. That you also know, we also know. It's not something which I'm telling you and you were not knowing. So excess of any stress, for example, overthinking, over expectation with yourself, that is not right. When you haven't written the exam, how you can over expect with yourself? So just do your work. जैसा कृष्ण जी कहते हैं ना कि काम करो फल की चिंता मत करो. So just do your work. Leave it to the God and leave it to the Almighty, and if you're doing your work without overstressing, it will all be fine. Then, and moreover, at regular intervals, I would say that don't take too much of caffeine to stay awake for entire night, and take regular intervals so that you can walking, you can talking, and then come back to your schedule. So create a plan. If your plan is executed till 80 to 85%, so I don't think that there will be a buildup of stress. If plan is not executed, so then there would be buildup of stress.
Right, and I think some amount of stress is needed,
Yes.
as you have already highlighted,
it is
because
needed.
this is a kind of good stress that will keep you focused.
Actually.
Yes.
Actually.
So, sir, I think that's it for this particular conversation, and I think student might have got a decent idea regarding subject, regarding the general aspect also. So, thank you, sir, for joining us.
Very thank you.
So with this, we came to an end to this particular conversation video regarding the strategy management for the Indian art and architecture related aspects. For more such videos, stay tuned with Vision IAS. Thank you.